Alright, Sons Out Burns Out. Don't think twice, just blink. It's your man's Drew back with another video. Of course, we're gonna do some market analysis, get a projection. Right here we have EU, the euro versus the US dollar. And then at the end, of course, we're gonna have some psychology, so you don't want to miss that. In the background, I'm gonna play Ty Linear. One of the few people I was introduced to just off of psychology, just being around the same age group, and just off of somebody with that same fire, that same energy, and just being in the music, because music's in my blood. So shout out to him for making music for this industry. Music has helped my trade. I don't know about you, but music is a hack. If you're not using music with your trading and keep your mental state, you're tripping. You feel me? So let's get right real quick, and then stay tuned for I got 10. It's like 10 mental phases of a trader. I'm sure you probably heard about it, but I'm gonna just go over and give you my personal insight on it.
Yo, it's crazy, as you out here accomplishing things, all people want you to do is stay in one place. They hate when you come up and make them uncomfortable. They want you to be humble, but by dictionary, the humble means just being of low value, not really, value your own importance. And I know I'm important, so I can't be humble. I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying. But this for those who hate. Fuck being humble, up in that shockwave, hit like thunder. Up my bread, niggas mad at my covers. Trying to bring God all into the mix, but God got me, cause I'm gonna run them. Stay with that fire, I'm too high, why I'm too fly, never crack, hit them on with that wonder. Say my shit rock, but your whole life trash. Should've you niggas, now your whole life crashing, you looking real bummy. Couldn't achieve your own shit, mad at me, you a dummy. Better just focus on your own 2 feet, cause me, I'm elite, I'ma keep on swimming. God told me to apply that pressure. Look for this life is a jump this pressure. So you feel humble, still in that same place, you don't start running, niggas just start running. Should've been learning, all of my comments won't say it in person. Bitch, fuck you as a sign in cursor. Sit the fuck down. You inspired this verse. My granny said stay in next till I hurt. My granny said she prayed every day. I done made some mistakes, but she still gonna pray that work. I just up sinners and they hate that I'm blessed, not cursed. Waking up early, I'm live on the tracks and I got that eye. So that's money on money. Look, keys on king. Peasants on feet, and it's still that we still sturdy. Solid in my own understanding. So fuck that shit when we walk and they still bow dirty. Believe in God, this God's in the end. We back to the land, gon' pop that 30. Look, stock gon' move, we want it to move. Time going up, about to take them to school. Niggas get class, so they miss this lesson. But I don't give a fuck, cause I'm gon' be rude. Even with an orange, you'll never have juice. Always been the one when I say with a D stop juice. That's 4-5 busting that juice. When the shit hit the fan all in your head, cause niggas gonna complain and they still gonna lose. Stop playing with me, you don't want this smoke. Move like a joker, we ain't playing no joke. All my little niggas still active in the streets. All my little niggas that stay with that pole. Trying to be crazy, but we all gonna roll.
So real quick, we did see the exhaustion off of the monthly time frame at a major high time frame support. So we want to be mindful of that out the gate. Weekly, drop down. Weekly is white, of course. We just made a new lower low, so we could be coming up to find some type of high, some type of lower high. But we still have exhaustion off the weekly. We had a nice counter trend line break, dropped down, came down to the same support. So right now, this could be a big range that it's in, but it just could be playing with your eyes based off of candlestick anatomy. Drop down to the 4-hour. That's a good candle. Not a lot of pressure. We did have news. Queen something died. Queen died over there, so there was some news. Could see some changes, could not, but just want to be mindful. I probably wouldn't touch it right about now. Drop down to the 1. Yeah, definitely have to wait. Definitely have to wait. But overall, I'm still going bearish with it. Dollar's still rising. Fed's still pumping it up. So that's about it. You don't want to be on it too long. You don't want to get too into it unless you're going to take an active trade. So for right now, I'm still bearish bias. Could see a push up. We did see a rejection from this zone around 1.00. What was the open? 00516. I'm looking to the top here, of course. On this candle, open was 1.00516. So going to be mindful in this area, but if we push up, we could see a pushback up to this weekly resistance. Not too worried about it. Do want to wait for good rejections, but we're at a high time frame support. So I'm just going to be patient with this one and let the news die down. It's a lot of news going on this month. So yeah. More so, I wouldn't be looking for sales right about now. I'd have to wait for price to show me some major rejection back off the daily. Yeah, I'll probably wait. There's nothing wrong with being patient. You had an engulfing, and it was off to the races. So Wait for rejections and they'll be worth it. We had a rejection here. Price try to push up, exhaust it out, gap down, push down some more, gave you opportunities, but it's not the sexiest area right now. So definitely want to be careful. That's just it. It's real simple. It didn't take too long.
These niggas put a pen like a toe. Damn my high key, bitch, I'm like 10 B, standing my words like I'm stepping on gold. Bitch, stop playing with top, stop playing with top, stop playing with top. Bitch, stop playing with top, stop playing with top, stop playing with top. Bitch, stop playing with top, stop playing with top, stop playing with top. Bitch, it's not what you want. I mean, you can pop that shit if you want to pop that shit, but you know, some people they talking others about that action. You know what the vibes is? Championship, balling.
All day. So yeah, let's go over psychology real quick. There's gonna be like some 10 quick phases, some mental states. Um, First one, number one, it's gonna be hope. It's when we want to be correct, posting stuff on TradingView. You're telling people you're a trader, maybe, and you may be on your high horse. You may have hit some good trades. You might be, 10 for 10. You might be 8 for 10. You know, it comes with a lot of expectations, especially, which is not the best on the charts. Desire, wishes, dreams. You planning for that new car. You planning for that apartment. You might be planning to get your girl something, your kid something. And this is all before the trade is placed. So you're kind of boosting yourself up and overhyping yourself, and you might overanalyze and put yourself in a mental state that's not really ready to manage your trade, whether it's scalp, whether it's intraday, whether it's swinging. So number one is hope, basically trying to be correct before the trade is placed. Number two would be optimism. Your trade goes in your favor. You may not have any drawdown, little to no drawdown. It's going in your favor. You're feeling good. You're feeling great. You're dreaming of possibilities. You're thinking about what if, because sometimes people want to scale in at these points. Sometimes people want to stack orders at these points. They're like, oh wow, I didn't see any drawdown. I was expecting to risk this amount of money. Let me just go ahead and add some more in there. You're starting to unwind. You feel a good place. You're in a good place mentally. Everybody loves starting off smooth, almost easy. Everybody loves it. So that's number two is optimism. Phase three would be belief. Belief is nothing can go wrong. You're heavily invested in the trade. You might even be over leveraged in the trade. Um, but in trading, things never really play out the way you want it to. That's why how your trade plays out doesn't matter as much as if your trade plays out. Whether you're sleeping, whether you're on vacation, whether you set and forget it, you definitely want to have belief in your analysis, have belief in your skill, but believing in that specific trade can be detrimental. Um, and at this time, when we're managing our trades, we might have those little silent prayers. I know I do it all the time. The self-talks, whether it be positive or negative. And then you have your music in the background, whatever it is to help your mental state, help you bear some of the pressure or take some of the edge off. In which you're being quietly optimistic. Because if you're in profit a little bit, sometimes you get greedy and you just like, oh, let me just take this now. You don't even let your trade play out. So you cut off your winner. So these are all possibilities. Not saying this is guaranteed, but these are possibilities. So number one is hope. Number two is optimism. Number three is belief. Number four, thrill. Everybody knows the thrill. I know that may have been how I got stuck in trading. That's how I got caught up in trading. That thrill. My first trade was on AU in 2018. It was like 2 a.m. I was working for 2 men in the truck. Not a soul knew I traded. Not a soul. I was with FX Choice at the time. $150 account. Good times. Thrill. We're winning. That's that mentality. We're winning. We may be up. You picking what color car you want. You picking what kind of house you want. 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom. You thinking, oh, I could have some more babies. You might have even been thinking about going to the strip club and throwing a couple bands. You feel on top of the world, and this is technically sometimes before that big loss. This is a phase, the thrill phase. Phase number 4 is usually when your ass kicking is awaiting you. You're on your high horse. You're big headed. You're ego driven, and there's not too much cushion behind you. You know, been there, done that. Nobody's exempt from these. You might not feel all 10 at once, but nobody's exempt. If you're a trader, you understand. Phase number 5, complacency. Bear time. Or for me, it was smoking time, weed time. Back when I was smoking, complacency is bear time, no looking back. You're feeling good, you're playing your music, you know, you smiling, you're doing things you don't always do, maybe. You might be, giving people hugs. You might be going petting dogs in the street. You're feeling good. You're rolling up one, rolling up two. You drinking, having a few shots. You are feeling A1. You know what I'm saying? Phase number 5, complacency. It's not the worst phase, but then again, you don't want to sleep and act like your trade is going to play out exactly how you thought it was going to play out. Why do you feel the need to be right? That's a personal thing. Write it down, think about it, be aware of yourself. So again, number 1 is hope. Number 2 is optimism. Number 3 is belief. Number 4 is thrill. Number 5 is complacency. Number 6, we got the pullbacks. It's times when news comes in sometimes, maybe you're up 30, 40 pips, and it comes back down to your entry. It starts hovering. It might even go back below your entry, but this is on the lower time frame most of the time. You have to wait for candles to close on the higher time frame. This is a pullback phase. The times where your heart's beating, some people close out their trades because they're over leveraged or because they don't trust their analysis. All of a sudden, their brain flips once they see the opposite candle. They're buying, they see a red candle, or a seller's candle, and they get stopped out. But if you do your back testing, you'll see that a lot of times these are wicks or these are pullbacks. And the farther it pulls back sometimes, the better it's going to shoot up in your favor. So it's just about patience, waiting for candles to close and remembering why you got in the trade. So pullback, will it go below my entry? When you're an early adopter, when you feel like you got that sniper entry, those are the worst times. Those are the worst times. It's times where you don't want to sleep, been there. You don't want to eat, been there. Your eyes are peeled on the charts, trading at work, no. Trading with your girl or trading around family, no. And usually the time where you're pulling all-nighters or pulling 2 days, you want a Red Bull, you need an espresso, you need a Bang, you need a Monster, you need a 5-hour energy. Sometimes you need a 15-hour energy. So pullback phase, number 6. It's something you just have to backtest and analyze because it's a you thing. Every chart does it, right? Why does it have to be it's doing something to you? It's a pullback is a pullback. Pullbacks, it means it can catapult and take off to a higher level, right? That's what we have the Fibonacci for. Pullbacks and retracements are good. Last time I checked. Continuations are good too, but pullbacks, the double bottoms, triple bottoms, inverted head and shoulders if you're buying up, these are good. So while when you're in the trade, you feel like a pullback is going against you. Number 7, denial. Denial, which transitions easily into margin calls. Margin calls, blown accounts. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, this is the time where you're hoping and you're holding when you should be cutting, reanalyzing, or possibly shutting down your laptop and taking the rest of the day off, or taking the rest of the week off maybe. Sometimes you might ask yourself, why are they doing this to me? They're always hunting for me. Why don't you believe that the market wants you to be great but keeps letting everybody else be great? This is that false belief that you're not going to get there where you look to be because of the time limit, because of the blown accounts, because of the mistakes, rather than taking accountability and look at what you can do to better help your journey, to better accommodate yourself, and possibly expedite your journey. Because you're on a mission, so that means when you're on a mission, there's no turning back. When we go send people out to war and they're on a tour, just because somebody gets blown up doesn't mean everybody comes back. Just because somebody gets sniped, 1-2 people get sniped, there's a landmine, there's a little kid with a bomb strapped to him, doesn't mean everybody comes back. So you got to remain humble and keep your mind through all the hardships. Perseverance, resilience. These are things that are key in life, not just on the charts. So take notes. So phase 7 is denial. Why are you in denial? You think you're a forest god. You think that day, because you deposited your last check, because you put more money in the account, because you already blew 2 accounts, that it's your time now. Get over yourself. Phase 8, panic. If you're sweating, that's panic. If your heart's beating out your chest, that's panic. It's usually because you're over leveraged. It's usually when you're begging, like please, please. You're screaming at the computer. You're talking to yourself. These are negative self-talks. You're having those dark thoughts, and you can't take it. You push past your personal limit, but you're still in the trade, torturing yourself. You got to reanalyze yourself. You got to reassess. Phase 9 is anger. I was a master of this. But surprisingly, I didn't break any computers or any mouses, you know. I punched trees and whatnot, you know. Maybe broke a couple phones. But anger. Um, you might be mad that the trade didn't go in your way, that specific trade, and you might close out. You might think it's a scam. You might think I did all this work, all this back testing. I was in this group. You might be taking trade signals, and you might just be so upset because you might have made promises as well. You might have thought, "Oh, let me take a loan out. Let me just make promises on things that I don't even have yet." You know, so you're not being patient with yourself. You're not trusting the process. This is an overall war. This is a war. Don't get caught up in the battles. This is an overall season. Don't get caught up in every game and every play. You know what I'm saying? 17 minutes. And then last phase. So again, phase number 1 is hope. Phase 2, optimism. Phase 3 is belief. Phase 4 is thrill. Phase 5 is complacency. Phase 6 is pullbacks. Phase 7 is denial. Phase 8 is panic. Phase 9 is anger. Phase 10 is depression. Depression means you gave up. Low key. Depression means you gave up. This is when you think your wife's leaving you. This is when you probably got your car repoed. Maybe you're thinking trading isn't for you anymore. You don't even want to trade demo. You don't even want to see another chart. 10 phases, man. Don't Depression to me means you gave up. That's basically what it means to me. If you're depressed about the markets, that means you gave up. Money doesn't run out. Your faith shouldn't run out. Your skill doesn't just automatically disappear because you can only get better. I don't know how you get worse unless you're just not taking in your losses and you're not taking proper accountability and you're not studying and outsourcing um, more mentors and more knowledge, more psychology, because this is 90% psychology. So you see how I cut up on a chart for a minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes? I spent another, how many minutes? Almost 18 minutes? Or is, you get it. So I spent so much more time on psychology. Majority of the time is on psychology. I handwritten this. I handwritten this. I handwritten this because I give a damn. I give a damn about me and I give a damn about my viewers and anybody else who's trying to make it in this trading. Don't lose hope. Don't get depressed. Don't give up. Rule number 1, don't give up. Rule number 2, don't give up. Rule number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, do not give up. Understand these phases, study these phases, understand, maybe write it down when you think you're in one of these phases, and take your time. It's a marathon. Be patient with yourself, trust God, ask God. Be happy when you get on these charts because this is a blessing to learn this skill and to have this opportunity, you know? Be at peace because no matter if you lose or win, you're still a winner. And just make this money, man. It's gonna come one way or another. Just make this money, take care of your priorities, and stay on track. Don't lose yourself. That's all I got for y'all. All love. It's always a pleasure. Brains out.